Hello, how are you? I'm Michael Manna. I'm the senior partner in the law firm of Michael A. Manna and Associates. We're located in Ridgewood, New Jersey. I don't want to go through my qualifications, but in the introductory edition of my videotapes, episode 1, I talk about my qualifications. I will just tell you that I teach this stuff to other lawyers. I've taught it to certified public accountants. I teach it to social workers. They all need mandatory continuing education. I'm authorized to teach them. I'm a member of the National Association of Elder Law Attorneys. There's only around 4,000 or 5,000 of us in the country. So this is what I do. This is all I do. And in that regard, I think if you have a problem, please don't hesitate to call us. Again, our office is in Ridgewood. The phone number is 201-447-2800. I wanted to just take a minute to tell you why you should love probate. Okay? Everyone hates probate. I must have 4 clients a week tell me they want a living trust, a revocable living trust, to avoid probate. Almost no one even knows what probate is, okay? I'm going to tell you what probate is, and I'm going to tell you that New Jersey has one of the simplest probate procedures of any state in the country. I think that what happens is New Jersey snowbirds go down to Florida. They speak to someone who's been probating a will down in Florida. I will tell you, in Florida, it is a nightmare. And they come back with these horror stories, and they want to avoid this in New Jersey. It's not necessary in New Jersey, but let's start off with what exactly is probate. Okay? All probate is proving to the state of New Jersey, number one, this person is dead, and this is their last will. If you have both of those things, that's all you need. If the person died a resident of Bergen County, what you'll need is a death certificate. You can't do anything without a death certificate. And you will need the original copy of the will, the one with the original signature on it, which is the reason why I'm not a big fan of leaving them with lawyers. Lawyers like to hold them for you. I think that they keep you from misplacing them, and many times they do. But I find lawyers die, lawyers retire, law firms break up. Many times nobody knows where the will went. It is your property. You should have it, okay? So all you need to do now to probate this will is you need a death certificate, a raised seal on it. You need the original will, ink signature. You go down to Hackensack to the surrogate's office if the person died a Bergen County resident. The surrogate's office is in a brand new administration building behind the courthouse. It's on the 5th floor. Now, they do have a different procedure now because of COVID. In the past, you could just walk in there, give them $200, wait about 10-15 minutes, take your oath, they prepare the paperwork, and you're done. That would be probate. Now, because of COVID, what happens is you have to bring the information to us, or you could probably do it yourself, although I've never seen anybody do it, and you prepare all the documentation and answer all of the applications that the surrogate's office sends us. We then send that material back with the original will and the death certificate and your check. And then within a couple of weeks, a week I would say, week and a half maybe, again it used to be a week, with COVID I'm not sure, they will send you papers they're called letters testamentary. This is the official document that says you are the executor of the person's estate. Now, with that document, your job is to dispose of the person's body, file their final income tax return, pay all their bills, distribute their assets in accordance with the terms of their will. If there's any death taxes that have to pay, use their assets to pay their death taxes. That's probate, okay? Very, very simple. Now, if you have a revocable living trust, all it does is save you the trip to Hackensack and $200. It makes no sense at all. And it costs about $3,500. In my opinion, it's a total waste of $3,500. There's even a company out there called the Loving Trust Company, or at least there was a company at one time, that will lovingly relieve you of $3,500. To save a trip to Hackensack and $200 makes no sense at all. You can do it through a will. Plus, with a will, you have so much more flexibility. I have people come in, they have one bank account payable on death to this kid, another bank account payable on death to son B, another bank account payable to daughter C. Now, they think, well, it's going to avoid probate, they'll have the money right away. Well, within 10 days, you're in the driver's seat through probate, 10 days of death anyway. Okay? But if you have that, that's great. You don't have to go through the probate process. But if you own a car, it's in your name alone. You have a house in your name alone. You're going to have to go through the probate process anyway, so you really haven't saved much time. In addition, if you need money and you just take it out of A's account, now you die, A's going to get less than B and C. You want to have a will, and it's simple. It just says, anything I own, no matter how I own it, I leave it equally to A, B, and C. You can say that in a will. It's much, much simpler. In addition, what happens if A dies before you? What happens to A's share? Does it go to A's kids? Does it go back to your estate? Does it go to B and C? Does it go to A's spouse? Where does it go? You cannot have that flexibility with a bank account. Where you can in a will, you can say what happens if you leave someone an asset and they die before you, what happens, where it goes. In addition, don't do anything with a kid who's under 18. A child under 18 is a child. They cannot inherit anything. They cannot own anything without a guardian being appointed. You have to go to court. You have to post a bond. It's an insurance policy. You're not going to steal from the kid. And then the worst thing of all is when that kid turns 18, it's their money. They can do whatever they want. Now, I don't know about you, but an 18-year-old running around with a large sum of money is a scary thought in my mind. Where in a will, you could put a trust in a will. These are trusts that are inside the will. These are not living trusts. Living trusts are things you do while you're alive. They start to work while you're alive. In a will, they're called testamentary trusts. They're embedded in your will. They don't come into being until you die and the will is admitted into probate. But you can put a lot of very nice trusts in these wills. You can put trusts that save taxes. You can put trusts that if a kid is going to get money, we want that kid not to get it until he's at least 25. I like 25. You're out of college a couple of years banging around the real world before you get your hands on the money. And you can do that in a trust, in a will. You can name a loved one, some relative who's good with money, to invest the money for the kid and to give the kid what he needs before he's 25 for his health, his education, his living expenses, not to go buy that new Corvette. And then whatever's left when the kid is 25, they get it outright. You can make it 35, you can make it 50. Some kids never grow up, but you can do this in a will. In addition, if you have a disabled child, a disabled spouse, a disabled anyone, you want to make certain that instead of leaving them money outright, or you have an older parent, someone 80, you don't want to leave them money because if they get sick, they go in a nursing home, it's all going to go up in smoke. Instead, if you have a disabled child or you have an old person you want to take care of, you can leave it in a special kind of a will. It's called a supplemental benefits trust. Okay, a will that contains a supplemental benefits trust. The beauty of this is the assets in that trust are not considered the older person or the sick person's money. Doesn't kick them off Medicaid. Medicaid, you can only have $2,000. If they inherited it, they get kicked off Medicaid until they paid for their care, until they're back down to $2,000, then they go back on Medicaid. They get the exact same care. It makes absolutely no sense in my mind. But if you have it in a supplemental benefits trust, it doesn't count as their asset, doesn't kick them off Medicaid. It could be used to augment what they get from Medicaid. And then when they're gone, whatever's left can go to some other relative of yours. So you have all of these options, all of these things that you can do that you do not have by just naming a beneficiary on a bank account. Payable on death to this one, payable on death to that one, joint with this one, joint with that one. I'm going to do another episode on the perils of owning things jointly also, but I just want you to know that in my opinion, a will, probating that will, in New Jersey, I'm not saying I'm admitted in New York, and it's more difficult than New York. It is terrible in Florida, although I've done them successfully with a Florida attorney. California's bad. A lot of states are not good, but New Jersey's very, very simple with probate. You should embrace probate because you can have it do a lot of what you need to do. With that said, I just want to say, if you want to come in, you want to chat, actually, you can't come in right now, but if you want to call, you can give me a call. The office phone number is 201-447-2800. That's 201-447-2800. My secretary will set you up with a telephone conference with me, or depending on your level of computer ability, maybe a Skype call or a Zoom call where we could have a video conference. If not, if your level is kind of low, we can have a phone conference. There's a freeconferencecall.com. You can have up to 10 different people, maybe 15 family members in on the talk so everybody knows. I can tell you the first visit is free. Whatever we do, 95% of what we do is flat fee. We would give you a written contract a written fee agreement before we did anything so that there is no surprises on your part or ours. And, we take it from there. With that said, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Please be very careful out there these days and stay healthy. Thank you.